is the Sydney Roosters taking on the Newcastle Knights, and the Roosters. There's not many changes, if any, realistically. I mean, worth noting though, Mitch Orbison, not in the 17, but in the 21. We did discuss this yesterday when we recorded last week in Rugby League, that we hope that Mitch Orbison gets to break that record and that he doesn't lose out just due to the fact that Sonny Bill Williams is there. It's looking more and more realistic that might be what's happening, which is just not fantastic, to be honest. I want to see him basically be rewarded for his long-term service to the club. And the fact that Sonny Bill's there. Do I see Orbison going around for one more year? Potentially. But I think he should be rewarded sooner rather than later. Worth noting, though, that the Roosters' only change this week is another one of their long-term servants, Jake Friend, comes back into the 9 shirt. Lusick completely dropped from the side as the Roosters opt to go with Butcher, Collins, Crichton and Sonny Bill Williams on their bench. As for the Knights, quite a few changes. So most notable, of course, is the absence of Kalen Ponga, who is currently trying to get rid of a swelled nose from the courtesy of Chad Townsend's shoulder. Edric Lee comes back, which does really excite me because I look forward to seeing that Tupou Lee battle, because I think that regardless of where those two are in the numbers, I think that the Knights, if they're smart, you nullify Tupou in the air just by sticking Edric Lee next to him. And that'll just be a great battle to watch. So looking forward to that one. Daniel Saifiti back into the side. He's back from injury. He'll start from the bench, though. And I think that's it for the Knights on their changes. Mason Lino, great to see that he's still getting the 6th shirt. Killed it last week. Thought he had a really good game. His short kicking game really, really complements Pearce. Lino Pearce is similar to Luai Cleary at Penrith. I mean, it's a slightly more knockoff version, maybe not as good. But, you've got Luai who does the short kicking at Penrith. Lino does the short kicking at the Knights. For long ball and picking out your wingers, Pearce is your go-to, as is Cleary at Panthers. That's where I draw that similarity. Nothing to do with the quality, just the kicking game. So I think those two complement each other really well in regards to that. And I think that the Knights probably will get points off the back of Lino's short kicking game, if not just repeat sets, but it's about what you do with them. And the Roosters, they've got them probably one of the most robust defences in the league. It's just their defence is so hard to break down.
Well, you've basically just taken all of my analysis. Do I just go into the tips now? Or what do you want me to do here?
You do you.
I was going to baste you there for comparing Lino to Luai, but okay, I'll give you that. Definitely doesn't have the running game of Jerome Luai, but yes, a very complimentary kicking game. I can see where you've pulled that one from. SASA in at lock is a good shout. It's a strong forward pack. It is a very strong forward pack for the Knights. Obviously, they lose out with Ponga out the back, so Tex Hoy comes in. It's not a bad replacement, mind you. Mitch Barnett rested, Hymel Hunt rested. Sione Matautia, named in the 21, could come back. It's crazy to think the dude's only like 25. Feels like he's been around for a decade.
I remember. I still remember when he'd scored a hat trick and everyone was touting him as the next big thing for rugby league. I think he was a winger at that point as well, not even a forward.
Yeah, he's definitely going the Luke Lewis route of being pretty injury prone for a hot minute coming into the second row. Unfortunately, with this case, it's more head knocks than anything else. So I really hope that he stays out of the injury ward for a while here. Definitely an easy game to pick. You can't not go the Roosters here. I feel like that. I can just type that one in for you too.
Yep.
As much as I think the Knights are strong, considering the changes that they have, you just can't not go the Roosters. I'm going to go Roosters 13 plus here. The loss of Ponga is it's too big. It's too big. Tex Hoy is a fantastic player in his own right, but he's not Kalen Ponga. I don't know where else you want to go here. There's not going to be a lot of value in the anytime try scorer market. I'm not really comfortable suggesting anyone, which is a little surprising. But if you really wanted to have someone who's $2 or above, Joey Manu could be a shout at 237. You could also go someone like Tupanua. I'm not putting these in my tips, Matt. You can still have Manu anytime. I'm just pointing names out. I'm just pointing names out here. Manu and Tupanua for the Roosters, 237 and 320. I think pretty good value, all things considered. I don't really know where else to go on this one. You could go with the line if you really want to. The over's 45.5. I am going to be slightly sneaky and go the over on that one. It just, to me, makes a little bit more sense. You got the Roosters 13 plus, you go the over. I'm not going to give you anything else. I'm going to kind of bitch it on this one. That itself only pay. All right, screw it. I'll throw Tupanua. I'll let you have Joey Manu in, but I'll throw Tupanua as well, just to try and get a little bit of value here on a same game multi. Tupanua 13 plus over 45.5 is 575. I'm going to leave it at that. But I'm trying to find some value in this one, not the game to do it.
Yeah. So, I was going to go with Manu just simply because of that kicking battle that I mentioned earlier. Tupou versus Lee. I honestly don't think that they're going to try Edric Lee out. I think that you just go to the other side and then your obvious target is Joey Manu, who's got the ability to collect the ball above his head. See him do it week in, week out. He is just a massive aerial threat. So I think that that's what happens there. But saying that means that you've got to get to your fifth tackle. Do I think that the Roosters route the Knights here? I do. I'm going to go with the 13 plus as well. So Joey Manu, Roosters 13 plus. I am going to go the under though. And the reason that I'm going to say the under is I think that the Roosters do pitch up around the 30-point mark, but I think that the Knights probably, they'll be lucky to break 10 this week. I think that with that, they're still trying to work things out in their spine with Man at 9, Lino coming in at 6. Now you've got a new fullback as well. I can see that things maybe just won't click in attack. They're going to spend a lot of time on their line doing a lot of just hard work defending. Yes, the Knights forward pack is very formidable, but saying that, the Roosters are no pushover either. Waria Hargreaves, Takiaho, who I think is probably one of the most underrated props in the competition, doesn't get the raps that he deserves. Cordner, Tupanua, Lou. And then you got Angus Crichton coming off the bench as well with Lindsay Collins, and then Nat Butcher will slot in at the 13. There's just talent all over this field. So I think that basically the Roosters' backs just completely nullify the strength of the Knights pack for me in regards to the Knights potentially having a stronger pack than the Roosters. So yeah, that's where I go on that one.
1.4, Joey Manu, 237, the under 1.9, the multi, if you want it, 825.
There you go, a little bit of value. Okay, and with that then, we will get on to the next one.